a short encouragement from my house to yours. So, yesterday marked the end of the 8 day celebration of Passover for this year, and I have been looking through some of the Psalms that are traditionally recited during the Passover period, and today we're looking at Psalms 116. Now, it's a fairly hopeful psalm considering that it talks about death. And in this time of coronavirus and lockdown, I know that death has been on a lot of people's minds. So hopefully, as you read through Psalm 116, it'll give you some encouragement. Here's some of what it stuck out to me. In verse 6 and in other parts, the psalmist talks about how God has heard his prayer. He says, I thank the Lord for hearing me. He has saved me from death. So the psalmist fully believes that God does, even in his day, continue to save people from death, that he spares people's lives, that he gives healing or health all those ways. But the psalmist also admits the other side as well. Later in the chapter, the psalmist writes that precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. Or another one is, another version translated, the Lord cares deeply about his loved ones that die. So sometimes God saves people from death, but the reality is there are also people that do die. And the psalmist sees this and says, God doesn't treat us just like we're some pawns in an intergalactic game of it, but like God actually individually cares about individual people that die. And I know people who have lost family members or friends through this coronavirus time and do realize that God knows and cares about you and cares about those that have died. So Psalms 116, it has both of these sides that God he helps people and he saves people from death, but then also when people do die, that he cares. And it makes me think of something that Paul wrote in Romans where he says, if we live to the Lord. If we die to the Lord. So whether we live or die, we belong to the Lord. And hopefully you will know for yourself that truly you do belong to the Lord. And so whatever happens, that you know that you can be at rest in him. And that's one of my favorite verses from Psalm 116. Verse 7 says, be at rest once more, O my soul, for the Lord has been good to you. And so I take rest in that because I know God's been good to me. And I hope you can rest in that as well.